Taking all of your time, taking all of your time, yeah. I've been taking my time, I've been taking my time, yeah. Taking all of your time, taking all of your time, yeah. We've been talking about it for a while. Before we take a chance and do this, before we looking back as foolish. Yeah, we talk about it for a while. Before we take a chance and do this, before we looking back as foolish. We got me floating, and I can take it. You got me floating, and I can't take it. You got me floating, and I can take it. You got me floating, and I can't take it. I've been taking my time, I've been taking my time, yeah. Taking all of your time, taking all of your time, yeah. I've been taking my time, I've been taking my time, yeah. Taking all of your time, taking all of your time,
Mic check, 1 2 1 2. Can y'all hear me? Hey, trendies, trendsetters, and my trendy tribe. How are y'all doing? Y'all, I took notes. Live, laugh, love would be proud. I took notes. The papers are crinkling. Let me see if y'all say yes. Hold on. Okay, say yes. Okay. I'll keep the greetings a little shorter, but for anybody new to my channel, I do some greetings, and then I'll timestamp it if you're in the replay gang, and that way you can skip over that part. But I will at least I gotta say hi at least a little bit because it's just y'all know me. Okay, so all right. Oh, hold on. It's a blessing. I'm having to hit that scroll on that mouse. Okay. Hey, Linda Gamble. Hey, YouTube MVP. Hey, 41 Fit. How are you? Hi, peace, love, and prayers. How are you doing? Hey, Shan, my legal eagle. Let me see. Pretty. What does it say? Pretty as eyes. In my opinion, each and every one of the content creators should take a hiatus at some point as to not stress themselves out and clear their chakra. I agree. Balancing everything. I agree. Good morning, Annette. Let me see. Soul Star Music Lover. Hey, how are you? Let me see, y'all. Hey, Cheryl Howard. Okay. Hey, Rhonda F. How are you doing? Hi, Nisha. Let me see. Did I already say hi to 41 Fit? Hey, it's ChrissyTyme. Y'all, and we have content creators in the building. It's ChrissyTyme, 41 Fit. They are content creators. So yes, we are here to network, as Don was saying. You know, networking is great. Okay, let me see. Sorry, y'all. I immediately I took leave, so I worked up until the point I went live. So I'm trying to get myself into a different groove right now. So I apologize. Hey, T Talk with you, girl. How are you? T Talk is a content creator. Hey, Georgia Leo, Somali Queen. Hey, Janetta Boyd. Hey, Octavia Chapman. Let me see. Lady Queen. Did I say hi to Lady Queen? How are you? Hey, Nikki Nicole. Hey, MJ. MJ says, I thought Dawn was very credible and honest. I appreciate her setting the record straight, that she doesn't need help getting connections for Melody, which I didn't think she did. I agree. I did not think that either. Hey, LaDonna. Hey, Jesse Bradley Lewis. Hey, Miss Tina, Elisa Triplet, Miss B, Cricket 22, Shay P, Terrell Singer, Tanya Singleton. Okay, I'm about to have to stop. Louisiana Chick 318, Mama V, Hi Alf MC. Oh, nice. Okay, team replay. Yes, Patricia, how are you? And Journey to Jasmine and Betty Mack are in here. And Journey to Jasmine is also a content creator. If y'all see Black women are in the building, they're a content creator. Live, Laugh, Love. If she gets to come in here, she is a content creator as well. Peace, love, and prayers. Thank you for becoming a Trinity Tribe member. I appreciate you. And Arletta Jordan, she started my tone off. I said, look at my sis having faith in me. Arletta Jordan has sent me a cash out before the live started, and it just says stay dynamic. And I appreciate that so much because that is exactly what I hope to do. Thank you, Arletta, for speaking that over me. I appreciate you. Okay, so y'all, if you don't know my style, I am a blow by blow kind of recap person if I have time. So that is what this is gonna be. And I just want to start off with how Dawn actually ended her interview. She said, I will say this to all content creators: people are human. There is a thin line between reporting things and outright gossip and slander. Let's come together cohesively. I love when you all get along because you're onto something great. It's my hope that you all scale your page up, your businesses up, and just stay winning. I believe in all of you guys. And so Don kind of set the tone for me. I said, okay, Don, I appreciate that. And I didn't know, I did not have a feel my personally for Don's personality. So I didn't know what the interview was gonna look like. Obviously this is now public, very public, and I'm gonna still say this because see, I'm all off my whole normal routine, but I am just using the content for reporting, commenting, research, I even feel like Queen Shiba and Don gave a teaching moment. So yes, that is why I'm commenting on it. I have to say Queen Shiba has been responsible for a lot of big shifts in my YouTube world. I'll say that much. In my world, she's responsible for some big shifts. If you are new here, well, if you're probably not that new here because I turned the comment live chat on for people that have been at least subscribed for a day because I feel like y'all kind of already know my vibe, and y'all know we do the same. We keep it even keel over here. Argue the point. Don't attack the person because there's valid points to be argued. So I definitely, I want y'all to be able to speak, but just have it it's like a debate format almost. Not formal debate, but you know what I mean. I feel like y'all have caught on to my vibe. You've got my vibe, so you know what I'm saying. So okay, so we're gonna go over this interview because I know for those of y'all that watched it, you already know what happened, but a lot of people don't know. Everybody can't be there at once. And so we're going to go over how Don did set the record straight because I think that's very important. I don't have personal knowledge of anything that went on beyond what is publicly available. So I don't know what was done behind the paywall. I don't know that. I can be nosy. I just wasn't that nosy. I don't know what happened. So I am honestly commenting on what I watched this morning fresh and took notes on. And I'll insert, obviously some of my personal thoughts as we go through this, but I do want to actually go over what was said and asked. And shout out to y'all that was in there asking your additional questions that Queen Shiba brought up, which I'm going to talk about that too. I'm going to bring it up as well. And yeah, okay. And as y'all know, we got some crossover audiences in here. So just argue the point. Argue the point, your objectives, those kind of things. Okay. All right, y'all. So what else? Do I want to get anything else before we go straight into the notes? I'm pretty sure y'all already know I'm a fan of Queen Shiba. I feel like y'all know that. um, I told her she was goals. Okay, so let's go through it. I'll tell you how I felt as I go through the notes. Um, let's see. Louisiana Chick said it's okay to admit when you're wrong. There's something to be said about someone who admits they're wrong in a situation. That's true. You sit that pride aside. That's very true. I agree. Okay. ChrissyTyme says she hasn't watched it yet, but it's on her list. Yes, ma'am. Okay, y'all. So this interview actually occurred about midnight my time. So shout out to all y'all. Queen Shiba said it was over 2,000 people in the live watching as it was going on. How were y'all able to be awake? I don't know. So I was replay gang. So it happened at midnight, 1:00 in the morning. And everybody looked Queen Sheba and Don looked very alert for it to be that late at night. I don't know what their time zones are. She might have been in LA at that time, so maybe she was Pacific Standard Time, or Standard Time. Sorry. So okay, so let's see. Dawn said she was shocked that her name was trending. She wasn't expecting it. It was so to me, it did come out of left field for her in the way that she related. Also, just shouting out her resume, Dawn says she'd been in business for 35 years, and she said go check her IMDb too. But she said she's worked on movies, film, and TV. She's done artist development. Dawn was also a hip hop dancer, and she was mentored by Sonya Norwood, which is Brandy and Ray J's mother. So that was awesome. Journey to Jasmine, thank you for the super chat. She says, I really appreciate the love that you've shown everyone on your channel. So much abundance is coming your way, love. I received that, Journey to Jasmine. I thank you very, very much for that, because you never know who you're talking to before they do that big thing or whatever that thing is going to be. So I say treat people like they already done made it where they going to be, because you don't know. You never know. People are sleepers out here. And I'm saying that in a way like sleeping before they, whatever their greatness that they grow to. So yeah. Hey, Auntie Debbie. So yes, I try my best. We're all human. I try my best. And then Queen Sheba asked Dawn, did she realize she was being recorded? And Dawn said she did not realize she was being recorded. She did think it was strange that he recorded certain people. She said she really liked Anthony and thought he was talented and had great potential. Again, I'm mentioning the names that were mentioned in a public setting, a public forum. So, okay. I feel like I have to keep repeating that. Oh, let me put my banner up. I don't know if Shan's in here, but she would be yelling at me. Let me put my banner up. Oh my gosh. Okay. Carolyn Wright, you might turn into a real movie star here, like when Tate talks, and I got that in my notes too. Heck yeah. Okay, so let's see. Dawn lives in Atlanta and LA. Okay. Queen Sheba asked is it legal to record in each state, and the one that I know Dawn did answer, I feel like she had forgot to answer about Atlanta possibly, but she said as far as California, no, it's not legal to record in that state unless both parties are aware of the recording, have consented to the recording. Thank you, Braylon. Yes, I'm trying. Shout out to Pinky the Housewife, Braylon Lee, content creators also in here. So I looked it up, and I understand she already said it, but I did look it up. California is a two-party consent state. This makes it illegal. I'm reading from the website. It says it is illegal to record a private conversation unless all parties consent to the recording. It is considered a criminal misdemeanor and may give rise to a civil lawsuit. Let me see. Good morning, Pink Table Topics. That's Pink Diva, y'all. She's also a content creator. So Dawn said, so that's just FYI, y'all. Then Dawn said she probably wouldn't have agreed to be recorded if she was asked. She said that's weird between people who are fond of each other, because she did continue to repeat, I really liked him. I really did like him. And she said she, in her opinion, is done to trap or corner someone. And Dawn explicitly said she did not give her permission, nor was she aware she was being recorded. That's what she told Queen Sheba. So then it was asked for some background. how did y'all connect? How did y'all get together? And so Dawn said the way she came to know Anthony is she first saw him on YouTube and she thought he was thorough. She liked him. She liked what she saw. She said he had a guest on the show that was in some sort of legal field. And she reached out to Anthony. She initiated contact with Anthony to connect with the guest with the legal background on his show. And later, she hadn't heard anything at that point. Anthony later reached out to her after Queen Shiba had mentioned Dawn's name, and she surmised he put two and two together. Oh, this is that Dawn. So, I think he DM'd her at that point. And so they started communicating from there. And she said this happened in the earlier part of this year of 2023. Okay. Good morning, Chit Chat. How are you, Queen? All of y'all already know Chit Chat is a content creator, but I still try to say it so I can stay in my routine. Chit Chat is a content creator, y'all, and my unofficial mentor. That's my little byline that I say. Queen Shiba asked Dawn to walk everyone through how it led up to Dawn managing or not managing Anthony. And Dawn said Anthony asked if it was okay if he put her in contact with the guest that had the legal background. And she said, sure. And so Dawn said they shortly, I'm saying shortly because I'm trying not to infer her words, but some things I was just trying to fill in the blanks. And so it seemed that very shortly after that, they began actually speaking over the phone. And she said they both expressed how much they admired each other from what they had seen on the internet. I'm inferring the internet part because she said, just from what we had seen, and mostly we're going to see each other based off the internet because we don't know each other personally like that. Did I sign a contract? T-Talk, I love a good contract. I ain't signed nobody contract, T-Talk. And I'm going to go over it with a fine-tooth comb if I ever do sign a contract with somebody. I'll tell you that right now. I would be remiss if I didn't read over my contract if I ever signed one. Okay. All right. Is that something that's going around too, that I got a contract? I mean, depending on who it's with, pray for me, just depend on the name though. Hey, Arletta Jordan, I was just saying thank you for your Cash App, sis. Thank you so much. Okay, so let me see here. So then Queen Shiba asked, how long after you guys spoke did Anthony Lofties ask you to get on a call? And I am saying the names in the context of how they were used in the interview. Okay, so Dawn said within maybe 2 or 3 days it happened, and she said she had a project she wanted to produce. Now, as I watched the whole thing, I'm like, oh, these pieces are falling together. Okay, because she ended up, I think, obviously speaking about the project, and I just appreciate, all the details. I love details. So then she said it involved bringing content creators together for a show. Now, it still may be 2 separate projects because I really wasn't sure. Oh, I ain't gonna highlight your comment, Journey to Jasmine. I didn't know that. Okay. Wow. Okay. I'm just not gonna highlight it because you started. Everybody could get. I don't know. If y'all see Journey to Jasmine's comment, she is providing context. How about I put it like that? Like, I did not know that's who it was. Okay. So they spoke, and I was saying that I want to know if there's 2 projects, or was the one project the one that Don Michelle ended up describing at the very end, which involves one of our fellow YouTubers, when Tay Talk. So I just wasn't too positive on that. I know that wasn't it didn't have to be the crux of the story of everything that transpired, but I was wondering if that was one and the same, because with someone like Don, it could be more than one thing going on at the same time. Okay, so Queen Shiba said, at the point Anthony asked you if you would jump on a call with him, were you his manager? And so the call they're referring to, and I know it'll probably get up to my notes, but the call when she said, oh, never mind. Maybe, oh, no. Yeah, I think this call that she was asking about was when Anthony said, can you jump on the call with these people that are international, which turned out to be I'm gonna say like Wanda, chocolate in a bottle of people. So that's what I was gathering from that. And Dawn said, no, I was not his manager at that time. She said she said she saw it as a mentorship, helping people to scale up and understand the business. Okay. And then Queen Shiba said, did he tell you the intent of the call? And Dawn said, yes, it was a call about a wine company. Anthony explained her background, Dawn's background, to them. And then she said Anthony showed her his numbers and how quick he was scaling, like how quick, I guess, his channel was growing. I'm sure I can be certain at least the YouTube analytics. I don't know if there were other analytics outside of YouTube, but I feel like that would have been a really big one. Chocolate in the bottle. So then Queen Shiba said, did you realize you would be on camera for this call? Asking Dawn that, or was it made known to you how that call would be used? And Dawn said she did not know, but she knew it would be a Zoom call. So she knew possibly she'd be on camera. Maybe she didn't know how the call would be used later. I feel like that's the part that she maybe did not know about. And at that time, she and Anthony were on the same page. Okay. And then Queen Shiba said, at what point did it become agreeable between the two of you that you may have the potential to have a manager-talent relationship? Hey, Jazzy J for Life, and my other Jazzy J. I saw you in here too. Jazzy J for Life is also a content creator. And Dawn said she had her eye on Anthony Lofty's and other content creators for a project she was working on. She said they worked nicely together she said they worked nicely together, I guess in her mind at least, like how she could see the project moving forward. And she said, she and Anthony worked nicely together in trying to set him up for his goals. And she said it felt very organic with Anthony at that time. Queen Shiba said, is it standard to work with new talent to help out and give tips? And later we find out, for those that watch this already, for those that find out, hold on, I'm sorry, I got to get out the comments real fast. We know that later, Dawn is obviously referring to at least one of the projects was the one that When Tay Talks is on. And also, let me see. Okay, let me just get back on track because I lost my point. Okay, so anyway, she said they are very organic together. Okay, at that time, they were very organic together. It just felt, nice and easy, it seemed like. So then Queen Shiba said, is it standard to work with new talent to help out and give tips? Dawn says some people do it. Okay, there's my other point. Later on, we find out Queen Shiba had all her receipts together. So her questions were based off of the receipts that she was referring to. So that's why her line of questioning went the way it did. And, she was giving Dawn a chance to obviously be honest and tell her side, but making sure she was asking the questions that mattered to get us to the answers we were probably seeking as well. Thank you, Pinky the Housewife, for the super sticker. I appreciate it. Okay, so then the question was, is it standard to work with new talent to help out and give tips? Dawn says some people do it. She said, at this point, I was pouring into him, just helping him scale up. She said she usually has a consulting fee, and she usually works with people that have a certain number of followers, and she said it's a really high amount. So, she basically, it seemed this would not have been her norm of a client to take on just yet, is I feel like what she was setting the stage for. And then she said she believed he could get there to the higher followers and everything like that. And then she said when she's about to take you on, she has a contract or an agreement that she does. She said she began to work on his behalf. Again, she put this under the mentorship umbrella as I understood it. She said that he shared with her about what he wanted to do with his look. And that's when she reached out to her uncle, who she said is highly connected, and she connected him with the dentist. And she said she worked out an agreement between him and the dentist on Anthony's behalf. Okay, let me see. Then Queen Sheba said, there are allegations that Melody's management team needed, and she emphasized needed. Hold on. Oh, I guess she's quoting, needed me for my connections. And I think she's referring to allegations that Anthony said Don needed him for his connections. And Queen Sheba said, is the standard for managers and talent to connect each other to different networks. And Dawn said, yes, it is standard. People network with one another all the time. She said it's common conversation. She said it's a give and take. She said Anthony was trying to have a conversation with Angela White, aka Black China, and I will be using those names interchangeably based on mostly how they used it in the interview. And Don reached out to Angela's agent, and the agent happened to be Don's friend for 25 years. And so Don said she set up his meeting with Mimi Faust as well. Mimi is from Love and Hip Hop, for those that may not know. And Don also mentioned Rick Ross. So and the way she mentioned it, unless I missed it, I feel like it was inferred that she was also helping him to connect to Rick Ross, because she dropped Rick Ross's name, but I wasn't for sure how she was using it in that context. But with the way that it was going, it seems like she was helping him get his connections to those people just named. And she said there were a couple of things that Anthony volunteered to her, like information or connection wise. And she said, again, it's standard practice. Quote, you wash one another's hands. And she said her arm stretches a very long way in this business. Then Queen Sheba said, did it work out for the dentist who had an agreement with Anthony? Was he able to generate new clients? Or do you know how it worked out for the dentist in exchange for a discounted rate? And Dawn said, that's a good question. I do not know. And then she said they communicated between themselves after, Anthony and the dentist communicated between themselves after the initial agreement. Then Queen Sheba said, so the Bravo thing, it came up that you were needing Anthony to connect you to Bravo to get Mel connected to Bravo. How did all of this start? Don said, we talked about him dating someone over at Bravo. And I said, hey, we got a couple of shows I would like to pitch over there. And then she said, he was like, okay, I'll see if I can hook it up. And Don said, it was nothing for them to go back and forth to help each other. Okay, now this gets clarified more. So if y'all didn't watch the interview, just hold on. I promise it's coming. Queen Sheba then said, do you remember asking him for the Bravo connection? And Don said, I don't. Don said she doesn't remember outright asking him for that connection. And Don then said, and I'm going to quote here. She said, I want to be clear. I know a lot of people who are well connected at Bravo, just so you know. And Queen Sheba said, like who? Because the way it's being put is as if you do not have these connections. And Don says, quote, I know people at the parent company of Bravo. So Don again emphasized she has her connections. So it was not this, she was not leaning on this for connections for herself. Queen Sheba then said, who brought up Black China? And Don said, I believe I brought up, hold on, let me make sure I read this right. Oh, sorry. Don says she believes that she herself brought up Black China. She said, quote, Queen Sheba, I know you're big on receipts, and I did send over some receipts. And Don said, I called her agent up and we began to work on a flyer. And then Queen Sheba said, Anthony mentioned to Don, to you, that he had a possible interview with Black China. And Don's, and she's reading some of her receipts that she has from Don when she's saying this. And then she's saying that Don said, oh, that's awesome. And then a few days later, Anthony said, he's messaging Don saying, I'm over this. They're not responding to me. Call whoever you need to call to get this thing rolling. And then at that point, Don said, hold on. And she reached out to Black China and her team. And her team came back and said, there's a couple of things we don't like about the flyer. And after Don got involved, they agreed to move forward with the interview, but there were some requirements. And Queen Sheba said, what I did see was a lot being offered to Dawn without her asking. That was Queen Shiba speaking to the people watching in the audience. She's telling us what she's seeing from her own receipts that she received from Dawn. And Queen Shiba said, for example, she would see a request from Anthony Lofty's like, quote, I would like to work with Jay Bolin. I would like to interview this person. And oh, by the way, I can get you in at Bravo. So it was from the pattern Queen Shiba presented that she was seeing, it was like, I want this, but I can get you this. I want this, but I can get you this. And then he also said to Dawn in some messages from what Queen Shiba had, I can get Melody on Sherry Shepherd. But Queen Shiba clarified, she said, from everything I've read, it was all unsolicited. Dawn did not ask for these opportunities. And she said she basically was scouring over 9 months of conversation. And then Queen Shiba said, what were your thoughts when this was happening? So I guess this is a broad this, I'm not sure, or just maybe when it was a ask, give. That's how I was taking it. Dawn said, at first it wasn't uncommon because people do network. She thought he was being genuine. She said he seemed to know a lot of people in the business, but he began to insert himself into a lot of situations. And journeyology to the root, she definitely said in the business, quid pro quo. She's like, that's common. Quid pro quo. Quid pro quo. Yes. And then, so Dawn said he inserted himself into a lot of situations. He began to. And then Queen Shiba said she saw about 3 or 4 times where Anthony posed a question to Dawn about things that were going on, some having to do with Love and Marriage Huntsville. And she saw Dawn reply, quote, do not get involved with that. Please stay out of that. Keep it professional. And she asked Dawn, at any point, did you think he may have been offended by your recommendation of staying out of things? Dawn said she was trying to get him to be more stealthy. And I'm going to insert my opinion real fast in this. This is what I would expect from a manager. They're going to advise you to stay stealthy, keep yourself clean in these things. You don't want to miss other opportunities if you get too involved over here. So I could see that from a manager that's been, I don't even say they have to be doing it a while. Just a good manager is going to always try to keep you, you got to stay pretty even keel. And I'm saying KEEL. Okay. So in the beginning, when she saw him, per Dawn's words, she said that he was more smooth and subtle, and she was trying to lean him towards being a Phil Jackson or the male Oprah. And she said she felt he was more in the lane of reporting responsibly at that time. And then Dawn said many people approached her about representing them, including Tiffany from Love and Marriage Huntsville, Destiny, and more people. She said she felt like it was starting to get a little messy. And she said, I'm not your inside track. Then she said also there was a thin line between you interviewing the whole cast and impeding production of the show and releasing information before it's time. And she used that phrase a lot, impeding production, like a lot. I feel like that was probably one of the, besides the recording, one of the bigger faux pas would probably be impeding production. Okay. She also said, it's okay to know the information, but you have to wait. You can't rush. You can't be in a rush to go from 0 to 100 when you're still biding your time or, finding your way. She thought he was getting respect from other content creators, and she enjoyed that part. As this was going, that's what she thought. He has a lot of respect from content creators, and she could just see where he was headed, and she thought at the time, obviously, it was a place that he was going to do well. Okay, let me see. Hold on. Okay, Queen Shiba said, when did it get ugly? Or when did it get so ugly? Queen Shiba said, I saw Mel's face on a thumbnail. How do you think it came to be where Mel's face is on a thumbnail, but it's about you? And Dawn said, Anthony called one day, said he was concerned about something that happened in Houston. She said he was very upset about it. And she said she did not know about the incident. So she made a couple of phone calls. She actually called 2 or 3 people to verify some things. And she called Anthony back and said, stay out of that. And she said, I know you may be friends with this person, but you are impeding on production because some of these things are on an NDA. And Dawn also said Anthony's dream was to maybe host a Love and Marriage Huntsville reunion one day, and she tried to advise him to remain impartial. She told him to report it, report the tea when the show comes out. She's never known Melody to be a liar, and Dawn said a lot of times Dawn, doesn't know what's going on. She wants to find out when we find out. And then for those of y'all that are coming in later, I'm a blow by blow person. So that's what I'm doing right now in case you're wondering what's going on. Because everybody has not already seen the interview. I know people will still be watching it, but again, everybody has not seen the interview. So that's what I'm doing. And I'm inserting some of my personal opinions along the way, but that's what we're doing right now in case you came in a little bit later. So then Queen Shiba said, with you knowing one of his goals was to host the show on Love and Marriage Huntsville, was it your intent to work with him to get him to that point? And Dawn said, that's a tricky question because there's nothing I probably would have done because I'm Melody's manager. And I'm really strict about, she didn't finish her sentence, but she had started to say, I'm really strict about if I manage. And then she started a new sentence and she said, many content creators that she manages do not ask her about Melody or insert themselves. And then she said she wanted to push Anthony to scale and be a part of a project. She said they were very close to doing the project and Anthony opted out because of people he didn't get along with. And then Queen Shiba said, is it normal for talent to not get along? How often does it happen? Dawn said, you have to show up. The show must go on. And she said, Anthony had his reasons and I didn't fight him on it. And then Queen Shiba said, how did you feel about losing him on the project? Dawn said, you can't lose what you never had. She said he's one of the many thousands of people she mentored or helped throughout the years. And again, I think if I read it right, her career spanned 35 years so far. Yeah, 35 years so far. And then she said, I found out he maybe had sown some discord about me saying stay out of that situation. Dawn said this is where it came. I got chills when she said it. Dawn said she had her eye on when Tay talks since last year. She said Tay is very expressive and there's something about her. And I got chills because it's one of those 6 degrees of separation things. One, you're just happy when you see somebody winning, for one. 2, we're we're all in this circle together. It's just like you never know what can come out of something. But one thing I know is be yourself. Be yourself. Treat people right. But yes, I got chills when she said that because I didn't know, y'all. Well, I guess nobody knew. Well, most people didn't know unless Tay decided to tell them. And I wrote down, what did she say? This is when she named the project. She said the project is called Women of the Jury, which I saw that on Instagram and I didn't even know, but I just saw Dawn had posted it. So I'm like, okay, what's this? So I got it in my queue to try to watch that, y'all, some of y'all already watched it. Cinnamon Swirl said that movie's excellent. Wow. Okay, y'all fast. I'm so late. But then the lesson of the lifetime, not the lesson of the day, lesson of the lifetime was she said move in silence, which we already know. Melody Cherie is good at moving in silence. So I was already taking it in, but you get those reinforcements every now and again, right? And so all I thought was that Lil Wayne line when he was like, real G's move in silence like lasagna. That's what I thought of when she said move in silence. Y'all, real G's move in silence like lasagna, y'all. Okay, just keep it to yourself till you honestly ready to share some things. But Queen Shiba, and shout out to Tay. I see everybody congratulating Tay. Look, I'm so happy for Tay. She keeps me laughing. Journey to Jasmine said, congratulations, Tay. Dolores said it's good on you. It's good and see you with Tay talk was at the beginning. Love Tay. Okay, let me see. Let me see. I know I saw more. They probably already passed me by, but Tay, yes, they congratulating you in here. Okay. So then Queen Shiba said, Don, are you my are hold on. I think I meant to write it a different way, but Queen Shiba directly said, Don, are you his managers? I think what I meant to write. Uh is is he in any deals with you? Set the record straight. And then oh, no, no, no. This was for Queen Shiba to clear her name. So she did use the I and my. I'm sorry. Queen Shiba, because she said she got a DM right the same night, I think, before she did the interview. And she said somebody was like, I guess accusing Queen Shiba of having a deal or contract with somebody or being managed by Don, which I don't know how that's an accusation because that would be a blessing. So I don't know how that's an accusation if that person was trying to mean it that way. But Queen Shiba said, Don, are you my manager? Am I in any deals with you? Set the record straight. And Don said, we'll talk. Because I know Don sees how, Queen Shiba would be a great person to have. She said, but no, although I'd love to use you. And then she reiterated, she said, I really liked Anthony and I'm not here to bash him. That's what Don said. And then Queen Shiba said, we're all trying to figure out why. Why do you think it was important for Anthony to tell this story? And what is the story? And then Don said after the Houston incident, it was just a disconnect. And then she took some questions from the audience, but I think she had one more question before she took the question from the audience. So Queen Shiba said, what is your takeaway from all this? And Don said, you have to be careful who you help. She said, I need to vet people a little better. And, ooh, Lord, that spoke to my heart. She said, I don't want people to feel like you have free access to my clients. She said, but if I can be of assistance, I try. And she said, some people just want a little advice and they move on. Okay. I don't think anybody's fussing at anybody in the chat, but just in case, don't attack anybody in the chat. Everybody's crossing over here and we're just attack the points. Don't attack the people. Okay. So then Tennessee girl, her question came up and she said, why is Anthony mad at Melody? And Dawn said, I don't know. And she said she asked him what made him want to be a blogger. And Anthony's answer was Melody. All I'm going to say is this. There were some people time checking and date checking, and they said the dates did not add up on that, on what he presented to Dawn. That's what I'll say. Then if somebody could drop Tay's link in the chat, please, because Juanita's saying what's her YouTube. So if y'all get a chance, I know it's kind of crazy in the chat possibly, but if y'all get a chance, please drop Tay Talk's link. Okay. And then Alicia asked, can you ask Dawn if she was being paid? And Dawn said, absolutely not. Except he sent her a tip for around $100, and it was like a kudos thing. Like, she probably had mentored and helped him with something, and it was like a, maybe a thank you, but it was a tip. It wasn't a payment to a manager. It wasn't a consulting fee to a manager or anything like that. And so let me see. She said, quote, I never set up business for him to be paid because that's not what I was doing. I wanted to do the project with him. So she goes back. It always circles back to the project from what I was hearing. And she also said she could have charged for consultation. She said it was strictly about building until they got to a certain point. And then she would say, then the train would take off or something like that. So it was probably a chance that it could have happened. But at that time, that is not what she was to him. She's a helper. I recognize helpers because it's in me. So I understand what she's saying. Just because I'm giving doesn't mean that I've taken you on as something. You just help. It's in her. Like that's what she does. And as she said, she's claiming there's been a lot of people she has mentored and helped. 41 Fifth said one more again. There's Tay's link. So then let's see. Queen Shiba said, so you never received a management fee. You never took a percentage. Dawn said, no, I don't do verbal contracts. I do written agreements. You have to be manageable. She said, I don't scrounge around for connections. I am highly connected and well connected. Val B then asked, will this affect your relationship with Melody, and will you continue to work with Anthony? And Dawn said, for the Melody answer, she said, absolutely not. It won't affect her relationship with Mel. She said, Mel and I are absolutely solid. Mel is like my daughter. I will kick the door down about Melody. She might have forgotten the second part about it, or maybe maybe she answered it both in that first sentence. I don't know, so I don't want to put words in her mouth. Then there was a question about outside of Instagram Live, did Melody have a personal relationship with Anthony Lofties? And Dawn said, I don't think so. I asked Mel, were they friends? Had they ever talked on the phone? And she said, Mel said no. Why do you ask? And then she said she was just wondering. And she said, and then Dawn said, people sometimes, she's saying this to Queen Shiba now, people sometimes get this desperation to get next to me, thinking they will get next to Mel. Then Good Bad Apple shot her shot. Oh, Good Bad Apple said, is Melody putting out an album project, and do y'all accept submissions from songwriters? And Don said, please submit. So y'all, pre-shout out to Good Bad Apple. I can't wait to hear. I'm speaking it on you, Good Bad Apple. I can't wait to hear your song. But yes, that was so, oh Lord, I'm just so happy for y'all that are networking and getting these things together. Okay. Then Lovely Mar said, she asked the question, or I'm not sure, what was wrong with Anthony saying, will we hold Mel accountable? And Dawn said, I don't know. She said, insofar as Love and Marriage Huntsville, I'm loving this season. It's one of Mel's creations. We do hold Mel accountable. She said, Melody doesn't play about me. So you can think you're coming into the middle of something if you want to, but you're not. And then someone named I'm Just Saying, which I've seen I'm Just Saying before. They said, did she ever say anything negative about Melody to Anthony? And Dawn said, absolutely not. So Dawn, they were asking Dawn if Dawn ever said anything negative about Melody to him, and Dawn said absolutely not. Then Love Key, she said, have you ever been his manager, officially his manager? And Dawn said no, because officially, when I manage someone, I do paperwork with them. I was mentoring him to a certain degree. Let's see. Okay. Let me see. Then Lovely Mar asked, was he only manageable until he mentioned something about Melody? Because there was a part where Dawn was saying some people are managers, some people are manageable. And she was saying that, well, this is what her answer was. Dawn said, let's be clear. Anthony is a grown man. He does his own thing. I was mentoring him. She said there were some, it's so funny, she used the song title. She said there were some telltale signs. And she said, I will learn about your ulterior motives. So that was her answer to the question. And then Stephanie614 said, did you ever question why hasn't his own connections made him a star? I feel like there was another part to the question, but Dawn asked, could she elaborate? But I didn't see a follow-up question come in after that to elaborate. Then Dawn said, oh, that's when I'm going to say it again for the people that weren't here as soon as I said it, because this is very, very, to me, important on how you just move. Even if you're not a content creator, this is just important to me how you move. So Dawn said, I will say this to all content creators. People are human, and there's a thin line between reporting things and outright gossip and slander. Let's come together cohesively. I love when you all get along because you're on to something great. It's my hope that you all scale your page up, your businesses up, and you just stay winning. I believe in all of you guys. And then Queen Shiba allowed some people to come up on the panel and speak as well. So that was how that went. I feel like I learned a lot because I wasn't aware of everything that was going on. In fact, I have to say I was guessing on some things that were going on because I don't feel like I knew anything like for a fact. I just don't think I did. I think I guessed because we all travel in a lot of the same circles. I would hear bits and pieces, and so I'll be like, oh, okay, so that might be why this happened, but unless no, you don't know. So, but yes, that's how it went. I respect the content creators that want to remain neutral because they have mutual relationships with different people, and your people be falling out with each other sometimes. So I get it. I get it. I I take my hat off, my crown off to Queen Shiba for doing this interview. Just like, I know this wasn't the same because interviewing Don Michelle is like nothing like interviewing Broke Tail, but I understand the mountain she was climbing to do interviews like this. And, she's bold enough to get out there and go ahead and address it head on. I'm more of a, we're going to talk about it, when this happens sometimes, but all I said, I told Queen Shiba, she is goals. She is goals. So yeah, shout out to all the content creators creating safe spaces for their people. And all of y'all definitely take a break from this when it gets to be too much. When your stomach starts getting in knots or it just doesn't feel good anymore, take a break, reset, come back, and then see whoever whoever you trying to see. Let me see. Chit Chat said, thank you for saying neutral trending because I have a live coming up just about that. Oh, that was an excellent interview. It was. Chit Chat. I was going to say too, I cannot wait to hear your thoughts. I don't know if Diana Rose is going to speak on it. De Silva, if she's going to speak on it. I can't wait to hear y'all's thoughts. So I will definitely make sure, hopefully my notifications are on and I can catch it all because I am very curious. I want to hear what's going on. I want to know because a lot of times if I didn't go see what other people kind of how they took it, I stay in my little echo chamber. So I want to know, how are y'all taking this? Yes, I salute Queen Shiba. Everybody knows you have to sign paperwork. Well, and verbal contracts exist. So if the less argument you want, do it on paper. Do it on paper. I know Dawn explicitly says she did not have a verbal contract. I'm just saying verbal contracts exist. I'm not saying that's what Dawn had. And so, I didn't even see my sis out here. Hold on. Thank you, 41 Fish. She said, coffee on me, sweet sis. Great job. Thank you. Okay, I can pop the trunk now because I didn't want to pop it while we were doing that. I didn't want to throw everybody off. So let me pop the trunk for all of y'all, my Cash App people, and my super chat, super stickers, and my new Trendy Tribe members.
All right, we going. What a money reside. What a money reside. What a money reside. What a money reside.
Thank you so much. I appreciate y'all. Okay. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna read some comments, some, and then I gotta give y'all a reminder for Zen Gardens, and then I will let y'all go along your way. I'll see you tomorrow probably twice because we'll have a lunch break live and then we have Zen Gardens. So let's see. Okay. Demita Joe says, love your commentary trending. Thank you. And hey, little Paulette in the game. I think she's a content creator. She said, I learned a new personality disorder, histrionic. Please look it up. Okay, Miss J. I will try to do that. Thank you. T-Talk says, I think Queen Shiba did a fabulous job. Dawn was open and honest. She was. I feel like she was still kind of in shock. Like, what's going on now? Billy says, I love all of you and I'm so proud of all you content creators. Yes. Let me see. Yeah, Judge Judy, Judge Million, and Judge Mathis, verbal contracts do hold up in court too. So that's why I feel like she had to make it very clear we did not even have a verbal contract because that is still considered a contract. Had to take a break from YouTube. I feel like some people are about to take a break now, LS. I feel like there's this 60 to 90 day cycle that we go through with some turmoil. And I'm just like, all right, just take a break, come back. Because I'm telling you, every 60 to 90 days right now, it seems like it's something. Veronica says it's best to remain neutral and use your discernment. Discernment is the word, Veronica. Yes, I pray for better discernment for sure. I do not like when people jump on the bandwagon to bring CCs down, whether I like them or not. Got you, Veronica. Okay. Let me see here. Hold on. Per Judge Judy, if it's not in writing, case over pertaining to contracts. I don't know. I've seen those judges go both ways. You just got to give them enough to believe a verbal contract existed. You got to actually get them there. So I don't know. Okay. She did not have a verbal contract, Journeyology. Per her words, she did not have a verbal contract. She was mentoring. And also, I thought I wrote it in my notes, but she even said she allowed him at times to she didn't correct him when he would say, "That's my manager," I think is how she said it. Watch the interview, first of all. You need to get this firsthand. Watch the interview. She said she didn't take it in a bad way, but no, they were never unofficially like that. I think it was more like, I'm not about to be out here and embarrass you. I do like you. I am mentoring you. And she was like, we could have called it a partnership, because she was like, it was no title for it. I was just helping. So, but please watch the actual interview, because I wrote my notes, but you definitely should see this for yourself. I linked it in the description box, but I know all y'all can find Queen Shiba's channel. So, but I still did it to cite my sources. Let's see. LS says, I understand content creators that want to be neutral as well. Those are typically the ones that have stayed out of the mess from the beginning. They never allowed any content creator to drag them into mess. It's hard sometimes. I'm speaking on my behalf. It's hard sometimes, but I want to be able to go and be in your stuff. Like I want to enjoy your opinion, your commentary. Like, I'm here for your personality. Right, Best Meme. She said she was never his manager. Okay, Lil Paulette, I often take a break from Love and Marriage Huntsville and YouTube. Yes. Let me see. Love your commentary trending, and Queen Shiba did her thing. Her commentary was lit. It was, Cheryl. It was. Okay. It can be heavy. It can. Okay, y'all. This is the last thing I'm gonna show y'all, just to remind you that I'm gonna let you go. I already said that. I'm sorry for holding you up. But I definitely appreciate everybody that came in to just hear my voice, because I know I kind of just gave a play-by-play of the interview with a little bit of my own opinions in there. But thank you. And Zen Gardens is tomorrow, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. The link is already live and up. You can just hit the notification bell, check back about that time. Hopefully you've liked this video, because again, the notifications aren't always notification. I'm gonna tell you that now. I don't know why they pick. I swear they pick like 100 people to say, here you go, it's happening, and the rest of y'all just luck. It's just luck. You might catch it. So just 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time tomorrow. And we'll also do Lunch Break Live tomorrow, which that usually is either some kind of scheme or scam I found, or just what's going on in the like the Instagram blogs of it all and everything like that. Also, 41 Fit will be doing her 5 minutes with Fit at the end of the Lunch Break Live tomorrow. So thank y'all that have come to join. It's a gentle way to get back into your healthy life, She's such a sweet spirit. But yeah, okay, that's all I have. Joyce. She said, hold up, Trent, I want my money to go in the trunk with my man. Oh, my bad. Let me pull your man back out, Joyce. I cannot deal with you.
All right, we going. What a money reside. What a money reside. What a money reside. What a money reside.
Shout out to the trendies. Popping that trunk for your mans. Yes. Okay, y'all. Thank you, Chit Chat. All right. We'll see you tomorrow. And I'll okay, y'all. Yeah, I'll see you tomorrow. Let me get my behind off of here. Talk to y'all later. Bye.
I've been taking my time, taking all of your time, taking all of your time. I've been taking my time, taking all of your time, taking all of your